Why do I keep attracting the same struggles? Do you ask yourself that question? Why do I keep attracting the same struggles over and over? The answer is it's you. It's all you. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me, right? Taylor Swift says that. And today we're going to talk about the power of self-awareness and how to stop repeating the same patterns over and over. I'm Alicia Soikawa, your empowered woman, and here to chat about my personal growth journey and some of the things I've seen in myself and growth. And I'm in that still process every day, growing and changing. Think of me as your big sister, kind of in the way as helping you through that journey of life as you're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly to the next step of life. This is a huge topic because I think there is pattern recognition. That's something we learned in Tony Robbins as well. And I'm a huge Tony Robbins person because I'm a platinum partner with him. I've done all his courses. I'm in the whole personal coaching world. I'm a business coach with Tom Ferry. I practice real estate, meaning I help buyers and sellers sell homes, buy homes, invest in homes. I have investment property. We do property management. I coach real estate agents in business, and it always ends up being life and business. I'm a mother of 3. I also am getting certified to be a chronic healer. I'm currently a chronic healer healing, but I'm getting the certifications through their formal education as well, beyond just some of the seminars I've attended and classes I've done. So many different pieces of who I am, and also a creator here. So I say that because patterns are a huge thing that happen in life. And I think if you can figure your patterns out, you can repeat them in the way you want to repeat them for good things. But what happens is negative patterns tend to show up over and over. And we are like, I don't know why this is happening. Why am I dating the same loser every single time? Why am I having the same fights every single time? Why am I dealing with the same clients every single time that's not going the way I want? Sometimes it happens negatively. So I want to explain why I think these are happening and to understand everything in life is a pattern. If you think about the seasons are a pattern, our days are on a pattern, our cycles are on a pattern as women, right? There are patterns everywhere around us. We just don't realize it. And so if you can step into the power of self-awareness, meaning like being more self-aware, learning more self-awareness, you can kind of grasp your own patterns of what's serving you and move forward on those patterns and reduplicate the ones that are working for you and try to abolish or get rid of the ones that are not working for you. That's the goal. One of the things I think it's important to understand is why we unconsciously repeat emotional or relationship problem patterns over and over again. We kind of go blind. It's like amnesia. You're like, I don't know. We just kind of don't understand why we fall into the same pattern over and over and then go, I don't know what happened. And I think that's funny because I think we try to claim anonymity or like, I don't know, like that wasn't me, and not take any responsibility for behaviors that happen or reactions or how we're reacting to things, because we're not willing to grow in our space. So one of the things you have to do in personal growth is self-awareness and recognizing the patterns that are not serving us anymore. So, and some of them is the discipline to just say like, I don't want to do that anymore. And the pain has to be so great to break that pattern. It's pattern interruption, right? Scratching that record so it can't play in the same groove that happens. And a lot of it is muscle memory. There's just saying like, if you drive the same path every time, sometimes you can get to somewhere if you're really tired and be like, I don't even know how I got here. But your body kind of takes over and the pattern happens. So that's another example of how patterns just show up in our life. Sometimes not in a way always to serve us, right? There is also an energetic component to that, a karmic component. You want to go down that whole spiritual realm of sometimes it's our karma to find these patterns and then learn the lesson before you kind of go to the next level, right? One of the things you can think about, if you have old programs, if there's trauma triggering these patterns to happen, like if you came from an alcoholic family or you came from an abusive family and you're finding yourself in that pattern, is recognizing it. That's how self-awareness can help you. Being aware of why is that happening, knowing is this from my childhood, and knowing is this from that reaction, and saying, hey, I don't want that to be my story anymore. Let me have a new identity. And that also goes with getting rid of that old version of yourself so you can have a new identity. It kind of all works hand in hand, right? And so that's something to think about, is understanding how that self-awareness can help you pause that cycle, pause that pattern. That's the pattern interruption we were wanting, and saying, I don't want this anymore. So if you're tired of being in that same way, you have to have enough recognition to yourself saying, that's not serving me. We need to stop it and move to the next. And that's what I mean about self-awareness. So think about in yourself, what are the things you don't like? Comment below in the comments. I'm curious, what are the patterns you're wanting to change and break free from? And maybe what are some positive patterns in your life that are going well? One of the positive things for me that I've gotten really good at is I'm very good at staying in systems. Like if I have a system, I'm good at doing that system over and over and over again. again. But if I don't have a system, I tend to kind of just like go all over the place. So I know that pattern in myself. So if I want something to stick, I need to make a system that's easy for me to duplicate over and over again, and I'll do it. Whether that's habits in the morning, journaling, writing, if I know what I need to do, I will get it done. So those are really, really big pieces to make sure that you understand who you are, recognize it, accept it, claim it, and make the changes you need to make. Some of the practical tools to think about using and realizing in my personal story is that, I tend to recreate scarcity when I see my bank account. I'm going to get a little vulnerable. If I see my bank account on a certain level, I'm like, I don't like that. That's freaking me out. So if I see that, sometimes I will make decisions because of that. And I had a really good friend. She's like, don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Don't look at that. The money's coming. You're doing the behaviors. The money's coming. Don't look at it. It's going to freak you out. And it's going to keep you from doing the things you need to do. And it's the best advice she ever gave me. So if I know I'm in a place of scarcity, or if I'm in a place of fear of like worry about being able to provide for my family or getting the things done that we need to get done, like our bills, our mortgage, our car payments, the kids' tuitions, etc., I purposely do not look at it. It's not that I'm avoiding it or not being in reality. It's just, I know I'm doing the behaviors. I know the clients are coming. I know the money's coming. So I don't need to freak out. And me looking at that number is not going to help me grow more. So that's what I mean about that. So that's something I had to work on myself in realizing scarcity and perfection in the business world is not helping me. That's an example just so you can see like how I handle it. But practical tools would be like journaling, like what happens if then what, right? Journal what happens. Like if you're having a reaction, you're like, why do I always do that? I don't understand. Journal it and find out what happened right before that response happened. Part of understanding and being able to make change is being able to see what it is, what's going on in yourself, that self-awareness. And sometimes when you journal, and I always go back to journaling and then just do it freehanded without any requirements of how you journal. How do you do it in a space that makes you empowered? How do you do it in a space that makes you in personal growth? Don't journal, like punish yourself and say, if I don't journal, then I'm not good. That's not what we're talking about here. It's about that piece. Also, like understanding like awareness tracking, like partly like, are you self-aware? Are you not self-aware? Are you someone that's avoiding conversations, avoiding seeing things? And then also looking back from like your feedback from mentors and your coaches and people that are working with that have your best interests at heart. Get their feedback. Ask them, what are the blind spots I have in my life that I need to be looking at and working on, and being open and not defensive for it. That's one of the best things I can say with the relationship I have with my husband. It's taken a really long time to get here, so not everyone can do that. Is I'm open to whatever he says. I'm not going to take it defensively and get into a space where it starts a fight. I think it's important to understand people are trying to help you and not derail you. So one of those things you need to think about, and how you have to think about this too, is for me, doing the energy clearing stuff and working on chronic healing helped me see some of my energy blocks. So if that's something that you're interested in, shoot me a DM below or shoot me a little message. Happy to kind of walk you through what I mean about that. Like if there's blockages in your chakras, on what's going on and what you're trying to avoid. Replacing old loops would be another tool, meaning if you're always looping your head and you're kind of going into this space of the same reaction and the same story over and over again. How do you erase that loop? How do you replace it with a new action instead of like going and having, let's say you go to a happy hour and have a drink every time something bad happens, or you get a drink and you're wanting to end that habit. How about you replace that with going for a walk? That would be an example of replacing a loop, and not so that you can replace that pattern, right? Atomic Habits is a great book for that. If you're trying to adapt to new habits, it's an example of that, right? And you're not stuck. I think that's the biggest thing, is don't say you're stuck, because words matter. We talked about that last video, that language matters. And it's so important to understand that you're just not aware of it yet, and that you're learning and you're growing. So give yourself the space to grow and learn, and everything will fall into place. And I would love to hear about your journey on how you're getting more awareness and what you've realized about yourself and your patterns and what you're trying to break. Maybe what the patterns are and that you want to keep, so we can kind of keep doing the same things that are working for you. So until next time, keep going on your personal journey and stay empowered. Bye.